Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jake. This channel is called Jake of All Trades, and due to popular demand, I am going to be doing Raise Some Hell by LoveBites. And I've already reacted to a live version of this song once before. It was during a time where I was just doing like the straight reaction, but now I've grown to do like compares and contrasts and stuff. And this one was brought to my attention because in my last video for LoveBites, I was talking about how I really loved the crowd interaction and the crowd involvement, and people were like, oh man, you've seen nothing yet. You need to check out the most recent performance of Raise Some Hell by LoveBites. And so I'm like, all right, I'll do that. But then I realized, oh, well, I did a previous performance from them. I never checked out the studio version. So let's do a three-way compare and contrast. So before we get into that, I do want to give a shout out to everyone who suggested that I do this. And we have Aldo Matera 2043, Boysu, CRU 575, David Hersrud 5139, Frank Eigner S9L, please forgive me if I'm messing that up, Howard Graves E4K, Mark S 5451, Metal Drummer Y4L, Rainers Ufall 42 with 2 votes. So thank you guys for suggesting this. I'm looking forward to this compare and contrast, and without any further ado, let's get started with the studio version. All right, here we go. We're gonna start off with the studio version, the remastered version. I hope there's not a big difference between this one and the previous one, but hey, here we go. Ooh. Love the pinch harmonics. Love the tritone interval there. Ooh. Got a little accent guitar back there. I like the flow of the Osami's voice in the chorus here. This is reminding me of the meme where they're just like when the guitarist uses too many pinch harmonics. For the record, I do like pinch harmonics. I love how the instrumentals drive, but like the melody is like got some sway to it. Right. I'm hearing like the cymbals like bouncing back and forth between channels. That's pretty interesting. Go ahead, a little octave. I think that was handoff. how to make me feel horribly inadequate as a guitar player. That made a little bit of a sort of tone there. Love that transition. I don't know, that melody just makes me want to dance, you know? So many pinch harmonics. That's tough to do consistently, though, I must say. Oh, they keep like the live, like, outro sort of thing going. That's awesome. But wait, there's more. Ooh, nice harmony there, too. Whew! Alright, back to the one that I originally checked out. Raise Some Hell, 5 of a Kind, on February 21st of 2020. What a time. Anyway, here we go.
じゃあ、どこよりも盛り上がる準備できてますか?
Can I turn on closed captioning? Okay, I guess it's not gonna do it. Never mind. I can definitely tell the pitch harmonics are different live. Because again, it's very hard to do consistently. It's also when Miho was still the bassist. Heard a lot of hi-hat from Haruna. Midori's using like doing the octave thing. I love that gang vocal section. That was ringing in my head the entire studio reaction. If the next version has like even more energy than this is gonna be great. Because they already got great energy in this. feeling? Did she have like a whammy on that guitar? Because it doesn't look like it. Must have just been a slide down. Love that transition. Still love it. Oh, I love that ascent. See, initially when I heard this for the first time, I was thinking, oh, end of the song Antics, but now I know it's like recorded into the studio. Oh, that was so good. I can't wait for the next one. All right, here we go. The most recent live version, or at least the most recent official live version, Raise Some Hell, official live video from No More Tragedy, this time featuring Fami as the bassist, and this is the one you guys were requesting, so here we go. Off to a good start. Oh yeah. I love this already. This is great crowd interaction. Haruna's increasing the beat. Ooh. Oh, and the mixing sounds great already. I love the mixing on this live version. Ooh, cool angles too with the guitar. I love seeing like the close-ups on the guitar neck. The camera work is fantastic. Yes! Ooh, Asami's going down into the crowd? Wait, they all are? Except for Hirona, of course. Oh my god, that's awesome. I see what you guys mean now. This is some of the coolest crowd involvement I've ever seen. I can hear Fami's bass really well in this version too. Haha. They look like they're having the time of their life. That's just wholesome. I can even see her doing like the wah stuff. Jeez. It's like her hand movements are inhuman. Drumming sounds amazing too, holy crap. You even had a little bit of grit on that shout there. Showing off her, can't think of the right word right now. Just so enthralled by this performance. That was the best live performance that I have ever seen from them. Alright, so I went back to each version and compared them section by section, and that's how I'm going to go through the analysis here. And so starting with the introduction, 10, 12, 13, on the guitar. I love those sort of riffs. Those are a lot of fun, and they have so many pinch harmonics. Kind of makes me think of that meme where it's just like, I think we're overdoing it on the pinch harmonics. Like, nope, more pinch harmonics. I don't know what people find wrong with pinch harmonics. I love those. And in the studio version, the pinch harmonics are very, very consistent. They're always like, you know, the same intended pitch where they're supposed to be and everything. But then in the live versions, sometimes they either miss a pinch harmonic or it's a different pitch for the pinch harmonic, because any of you that play guitar would know that like hitting those pinch harmonics, it's not a precise thing. every time you hit it, it's going to sound a little bit different. That's just in the nature of it. So anyway, that's just some of the little technical things that I noticed between the versions. In the first live version, Asami's like crowd engagement was like all on her own. She gave a speech, and we get to the new live version, and the crowd engagement with Asami and Haruna was just so much fun. The make some noise, raise some hell, and then you got Haruna like kicking the bass drum, and you got the rest of the band kind of doing their crowd riling up and everything. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then Asami also in the newer live version like is keeping the throughout the intro, so it really keeps the energy going from before the start of the song to the first verse. And then when we get to the first verse, some of the things I was noticing there was that Asami's vocals are very serious sounding. She has like a good use of vibrato in the studio version. Just seems like a lot more, I am in the studio, I am focused on delivering the best performance I possibly can. That's going to be immortalized and listened to over and over and over again. Whereas she's a little bit more focused on the performance in the first live version, but in the newer one, she seems a lot more playful. Again, keeping the energy of the crowd seems to be influencing how she's delivering that first verse. Then we get into the first pre-chorus, and one of the things I was noticing is that while they're kind of doing the guitar riff, there's like a little bit of a wow sort of in the background in the studio version. And I think based on how I'm hearing it in the studio version, I think that little or that little bling, for lack of a better way of putting it, might have been recorded separately on a separate track. But in both of the live versions, Miyako is doing those short little sort of fills along with doing the regular rhythm part. And I think because she's incorporating it into it, it's not as elongated, it's more punctuated, like then back to the regular riff. Whereas like in the studio version, it's kind of like and it just like fades out. So I think there's a little bit of a difference in that little bit. It's very subtle, but that's how I'm interpreting it anyway. Also, another thing I noticed about the pre-chorus is that the lighting in the newer live version is much more intense. They've got the more saturated blues and reds, whereas like I think it was just kind of general lighting in the other live version. I mean, there were colors and stuff, but it just wasn't as intense as the ones in the newer live version. Then we get into the first chorus, and I think the harmonies and the vocal layers in the studio version are very, very strong. The rhythm guitar also very, very strong. Then when we get to the make some noise, raise some hell, the guitar chugging in that part is just isolated to the left channel. And then in the live version, the chugging is on the right channel. So I don't know, it must be Miyako doing that part, because I think Miyako's on the right in the live version and Midori's on the left. Also, another thing that I was noticing, so in the studio version, you've got the very strong vocal harmonies, but in the live version, Miyako's providing the backup vocals, and she doesn't come through very clearly. And in the new live version, one of the things that stood out to me in the first chorus was that Fami's bass guitar stands out over the rhythm guitar. In the other two versions, I feel like the bass and the rhythm guitar kind of blend a little bit more, and the bass is almost drowned out. Like, Fami's on full display in the chorus here, because like the bass tone is just right there and you hear it clear as day. I love being able to hear that aspect of it when it's normally drowned out. So then we get into like the intro reprise. The studio, there isn't really much to add, but then the first live version, they're fairly active on stage, but I think the real highlight is with the newer live version, is that's when they start going off the stage and into the crowd and start interacting with everyone. This is the thing that I think you guys were all referencing when you're like, oh, you haven't seen anything yet in terms of crowd engagement. This put such a huge smile on my face, seeing them go out into the crowd and just interacting with them, like giving them high fives as they're going down the aisles, and it's just, oh, it is so fun. And they just to see the look of joy on all of their faces, and even Haruna, like in the back, who doesn't get the opportunity to go out there, is just smiling throughout the whole thing, just like having a good time. I don't know, she must be like watching it all transpire and just be like, oh man, that's so fun. I wonder if she was like a little jealous, being like, man, I wish I could go out there, but I'm kind of stuck. maybe she could get like one of those treadmill drum sets like they have in Pump It on Electric Callboy, but even still, you're stuck in the same place on a treadmill. I don't know. Someone's got to figure something out for her. So then we get into like the second set, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and in the studio version of the second verse, surprisingly, for as polished as Asami tries to be in the studio versions, she kind of has a little bit more like throat, like fry sort of action, like on a couple of the words in there. And in the live versions, doesn't really have that. But again, in the live versions, the big highlight is really just the activity of the band in the crowd. I can't get over how awesome that is. So there wasn't really much to add in the second pre-chorus. So then like getting into the second chorus, one of the things that I sort of noticed was Asami singing the "It's Like a Party." She sings it a little bit more, like kind of holds it out a little more as she's singing it in the studio version, like "It's like a party." Whereas in the live version, she's a little bit more casual and just like, "It's like a party." It's almost like instead of it being sung, it's more of like a very casual, very spoken versus sung, which I thought is really cool to the vibe of the song, because the lyrics are about the members of the band. Who's that on the guitar? Who's that on the bass? Who's that on the drums there? Who am I on the vocals? So, like good vibes sort of song. And so like the casual "It's like a party" is just a nice accentuation to it versus it's not supposed to be sung too much, I guess. So then we get to like the middle section, the bridge, the solos. And some of the things I was noticing in the studio version was Haruna's cymbal work. It's really, really neat to kind of hear like some of the lighter cymbals kind of like hitting in different channels. It's almost like they strategically placed them kind of like the ding, ding. It was just like that little bit of ear candy. It's like just very subtle, but like when you're listening for it, it's like, oh, it's cool how they placed it. Then one of the things I noticed was that transitioning from like the bridge to the solo, there's a lot more of a guitar slide leading into the solo, whereas in the studio version it's fairly short. So I thought that was like a pretty interesting difference. They certainly like real like slide down on the strings there with the pick. And I think even in the newer live version, it's even longer than in the regular live version. I call it regular live version. I don't know why I do that, but anyway. Then the solo, studio version, it is center panned. In the live version, it's panned left for Midori, right for Miyako, because that's just how their guitars are done. That's just how their guitars are mixed in, live anyway. And the other thing I noticed too that I really appreciated about the newer live version was the close-up on the camera that they had on the head of Miyako's guitar, like being able to give a good view of how she's playing that solo, but it also had a nice view of the pedal board and how she was like applying wah to her solo too. It's just like, I don't know, that was cool to see a little bit of the behind the scenes sort of aspect of it. So I thought that was neat. And the solo, it's awesome to hear their solos, because Midori and Miyako have such different styles, and they bring a different flavor when Midori hands the baton off to Miyako. It's like you're not just getting the same thing, you're getting something that's uniquely that guitarist, and I like that contribution. Then after the solo and the instrumental and the next verse here, there's obviously in the studio version no huh, 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 but in the live, Asami is like getting the crowd riled up and having them like huh, huh, getting them engaged still. And in the first live version, they are dancing up on stage and just rocking out and having a good time. And like in the newer live one, there's a lot more chanting, and Asami's like still in the crowd at that point, still interacting with people up close. It's that whole thing, that whole crowd engagement is just top notch, perfect. Then I like how in this final pre-chorus they elongate it by a bar with a little bit of extra to lead into the final chorus. It's not just like a copy pasta sort of thing. We're gonna like make sure you're still paying attention here, and it's not just like a repeat of what we did 2 other times. Then in the final chorus they repeat the chorus a second time. Even in the studio version, there's a lot of extra shouting by Asami in the final chorus. Like earlier in the song, she's like trying to be a lot more precise, but in the final chorus, she's like definitely giving it a lot more like oomph, like the kind of oomph you would get from a live performance. And I appreciate that she did that in the studio version. And I think the first live version dials that up to 11 and probably does it a little bit better than even the newer live version, because like she's just giving it her all, right? I don't necessarily like count that against the newer live version, because like she was all around the crowd. At that point, she's probably like, I need to catch my breath here, you know? So it wasn't quite as intense. I think it was still good. I think it was still solid shouting, but just not quite to the level of the first live version. And then we get into the outro. I like how in the studio version they have that section where they do what a lot of bands do live at the end of a song, where it's just like the playful bam, and the drums are going crazy and whatnot. And you don't normally get that in the studio version, but they kept it in this. And then to cap it off with one more pass through on the main riff, which is harmonized, which I think is like really cool how they do that, to just like differentiate it, make it like give it one last sprint to the end. And in this section here, there's, in the live versions, they're still working the crowd, still getting them go, huh, huh. And I think, again, the crowd engagement, even at this stage, after they did all of what they did before in the newer live version, is just, it's so good. That's really all I was able to pull from this. Let me know what you guys noticed and drop it in a comment. I'd certainly appreciate hearing what you guys have to say about it. If you like this video, leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss anything going forward. And if you have any other suggestions for other bands I should check out, or other LoveBites songs I should check out, leave them in a comment. I'll give you a shout out whenever I do any of those videos. I also want to thank Jonas S for supporting me on Patreon. I really, really appreciate it. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you, and rock on.